So we're here in the podcast area for the MPTS show, and effectively what we're showing here is how a range of Canon cameras give you this fantastic visual podcasting image. So we've got a mixture of cameras here to show you the range you could use, but a lot of the flagship podcasts that we're working with, including the likes of things like Diary of a CEO, the Peter Crouch podcast, Goal Hanger, they're all using Canon cameras. Main reason being, they're after that straight out camera image. They want the footage to look fantastic without, with minimal post-production work, fantastic autofocus, and just an image they can rely on. So what a lot of the flagship podcasts, like I say, such as Diary of a CEO, they're using all C70 cameras because they want that cinematic image, that shallow depth of field. Lens-wise, they're using the RF 85mm 1.2 for their hero shots because they really want to throw out that background with a shallow depth of field, and then wider lenses like the 15 to 35. We've also got here a PTZ camera because a lot of studio productions and a lot of radios are now starting to use PTZs because they're discreet, compact. You can put them in any kind of room, any corner. They're out the way. They don't really distract the talent, and they can all be remotely operated from a controller outside of the room, which makes perfect sense. Now we can go a step further and we can actually control these C70 cameras over IP. So these have all got an Ethernet cable plugged into the side of them, and we can actually remotely operate the exposure and the focus all from a remote controller, again outside of the room, so we're not distracting the talent. So fantastic image, great colours and fantastic autofocus. So using something like the RCIP100, one of our PTZ controllers, as well as being able to remotely operate a pan-tilt zoom camera such as the CRN300 here, we can also over IP control cinema cameras, so such as the C70 and the C80 over an IP or Ethernet cable. I can actually control the zoom of those cameras if they've got a servo lens on them. I control the exposure, I can control the focus, control all of it all through a controller. And obviously the most important part of that is with a podcast you don't want to be distracting the talent. You can keep yourself outside of the podcast, keep distractions to a minimal, and then you're going to get the best content out of your talent. So we're here in the live production area of the Canon stand, and we're showing off here a live production multi-view setup. So we're showing the sort of setup we use at big music festivals such as Boomtown Festival. This sort of setup was used, and how you can use a mixture of Canon cameras to give you a fantastic live production multicam setup. So firstly we have the Flagship, which is the C400 camera here. This is one of our brand new 6K full frame cinema cameras, and when you combine it with something like a Cine servo lens, so we have a C8 lens here, you can get some absolutely stunning images for your hero shots. So anything that's your main talent on a stage, tracking shots of a camera operator, this is exactly the sort of camera you'd be using. Again, this camera is being controlled over Ethernet, so I can shade this camera in real time, so even in a venue like this, as the sun comes in and out, I can control the exposure, the white balance, all remotely from a remote controller off to the side. So we're now over to the C80 here, one of our 6K full frame cinema cameras, but this is actually on a Robotic PTZ or PT head effectively. So this is made by a company called Xanos, and this allows us over IP to control not just the cinema camera like the C400 over there, but also control the robotic head, so we can actually add robotic movement to what would normally be a static cinema camera. So this is fantastic because when combined with a any Cine servo lens or a servo lens like the 24-105, I control all the zoom, the movement, the exposure, all robotically over an Ethernet cable. So a fantastic solution for adding more functionality to your current Cinema EOS cameras. In the multi-camera gallery area now, so this is where your remote camera operator would sit at this controller, they'd operate all of these cameras in real time, they can see their live multi-view feed, and then the idea is with the IP1000, this is our all singing, all dancing PTZ controller, which as mentioned before means I can not just control PTZs, also trigger presets on the Cinema EOS cameras like C400 and C80. So a fantastic way to control all of these cameras all from one setup. Now behind us as well on the truss we also have a range of PTZ cameras. So over to the side there we have one of the smaller N300 PTZ camera, a fantastic on-stage PTZ camera. And just because of how discreet it is, you can put it anywhere you like without distracting the talent, 20 times optical zoom. Then you move up something like the CRN 700 behind me here. This is the fantastic 1-inch sensor, which is brilliant for really separating your talent and for any low light scenarios as well. And then at the back we also have our outdoor PTZ, which is the X300. Now this is fantastic because it has actually a built-in windscreen wiper. You can actually clear the glass on it. It's IP rated, so you can really put this anywhere you like on the stage without worried about any of the elements getting to it. So great way. And what rounds this all up is the fact that all of these cameras, image-wise, all match together flawlessly. We've just done a simple custom white balance on all the cameras, and now they're perfectly matching.
Thank you ever so much for watching, ladies and gents. I hope you took value from this video, from this conference specifically, and we'll be back very, very soon with some brand new content showcasing how you can utilize social media and video marketing to grow your business in 2025. So thank you ever so much for coming back and joining me. If you're new to the channel and you'd like to see more content like this, then make sure to be subscribed, and I'll see you very, very soon.